Eneke the bird was asked why he was always on the wings, and he replied, "Men have learned to shoot without missing their mark, and I have learned to fly without perching on a twig." Now, guys, that was an extract from Things Fall Apart, the 1958 classic by legendary author and playwright Chinua Achebe. The dialogue between Eneke the bird and the unnamed character inquiring about its newly acquired fondness for flying without perching reminds us of an intervention I consider fundamental if we must stem the tide of gender-based violence. I call it the untapped power of fathers and their love for their daughters. Now, creating a safe space for women and girls appears to be an uphill task for law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. And I have these facts to share with you. In 2022, 49 husbands were said to have killed their spouses in 15 months. Now, Augusta Osedion was murdered by her boyfriend in 2023. Chima was bludgeoned to death by her husband. Salome Adaidu, a youth corps member, was beheaded by her boyfriend. And Ogechukwu Okafor was stabbed to death by her husband. Now, Rachel Kosisichukwu was allegedly poisoned by her boyfriend, and Gloria Mbeodioma was beaten to death by her husband. Now, before then, in 2020, Verawa Omozuwa, Barakat Bello, who was 18, and Karen Akpagher, 14, were all raped and murdered. Now, these are people's daughters. These are not just statistics. These are not just names from nowhere. These are human beings. But the question I keep asking is, where are their fathers? And what could these men have done to prevent these horrific deaths? Now, the hunter has learned to shoot without missing, as Eneke observed. Someone must henceforth fly without perching on twigs. Our failure to socialize our girls and sons and groom them into wholesome men and husbands who will respect women tomorrow will entrench a society that is clearly unsafe for women and girls. So to this end, fathers blessed with daughters must be as circumspect as Eneke the bird. We must learn to teach our daughters about standards that make them unattractive to insecure and violent and abusive men. And this starts with intentional, deliberate, and sustained healthy father-daughter relationship. Now, the best way to recognize counterfeits is to get used to the original. The fathers must become the original, the standards, the ideal men for their daughters.
I think I would like to start with this one because this is kind of like a little bit personal to me. And it's, I mean, one of the things I took out of your monologue is, where are the fathers?
We need to stop doing this because
the way I behave has a lot to do with my upbringing.
Yeah.
Now, this is the best way to behave. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really say. Do you get what I'm saying?
Until you bring somebody into your life.
Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. But one thing I know is that when I become a father, right, I want to be presently available to bring up my children.
Yeah.
Because no shot to my father or anything, he's an amazing dad. And growing up, the older you get as a man, the more you realize how awesome your father is.
Yeah.
But he was also put under the structure of that societal pressure to marry at a certain time, even if he wasn't financially in the place to be available for me, to be a father to me.
Or they didn't even have the capacity.
The capacity. I'm not talking about capacity, I'm talking about availability. First, just be present. I grew up in a home where I see my dad during the weekends. He goes up out early in the morning before I wake up. He's back when I'm asleep. Same thing happens every day, year after year. So I see my dad during the weekend. The days I spend with my dad would be Sundays, where we go to church together and then we spend the whole day together, right? So basically, if I calculate my 15 years, because I think I go to school for 15 years of my life, probably calculate that I saw my dad 1 year.
If you want to do the math, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? That's scandalous.
Okay, now, And this is the reality of a lot of people, millions of people, especially in Africa.
Yeah.
Because we just think fatherhood is provision and protection. No, it is availability. It's being there.
That's it.
And help your son set up that basketball court and throw the first shot. Watch him as he takes his first step. Watch him as he says the first word. That is what being a dad is about.
That's it.
And so if we keep ignoring that, we bring up people, young men and young women who be punching each other and killing each other because this plays a role in their behavior. That's my take.
Okay.
So is that why you're not married?
That's why I'm not married. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be available.
The way things are going, we're always, AI, everything, we're constantly busy. So if you're saying you're waiting for that time when you'll be, that time could mean when I've hit the lottery or, no, I'm just giving an example or whatever it means.
It's nothing to do with financial. I think,
No.
I think right now I have the physical capability to get married and be okay, but I'll still need to work.
What I'm saying is, whatever it is that your definition is, we keep shifting. We will keep shifting the ball, however we look at it. But I'm just saying it's dangerous. But that is not what I wanted to. I just thought, since you touched on that, but all well and good. You asked the question, where are the fathers? And again, here I saw. Whilst you are when you are asking where are the fathers, you mentioned something about fathers must become, ideal men for their daughters. Again, what about ideal men for their sons?
Of course, that's a different narrative.
Yes,
which is indeed
definitely. So for me, what I had when you said where are the fathers, and it just started ringing that alarm like it did in your head. That again, where are the fathers? Hustling, fending. Where are the fathers for the girls? Because the fathers for the girls, there's a role they play. Yeah. Like you said earlier on, identifying the right men, knowing what it is like to be treated like a princess. Yeah. They should open the door and etc. And then the other side, the fathers for the boys. This is what you do. You cannot hit a woman. You must help in the kitchen. Exactly. You must, X, Y, Z. So that question just opens, so many boxes, for me in my mind. And, I think it's really, it is a solid foundation that, one can build this conversation around, where are the fathers?
And it begins with availability.
Availability and sustainability as well.
When you are available, right, 24/7.
What does available even mean?
What does it? Maybe it
means being physically present, being emotionally connected.
Being emotionally connected. Okay, now, if you don't know when to even connect with them, you don't have the right content. They ask questions, and the next thing is you shut them down. Yeah, you are not giving them. But unfortunately, AI doesn't rest. AI doesn't sleep. Just a tap, AI gives them
a voice prompt.
A voice prompt. So that's why I feel that it doesn't really start with availability. Why did I say so? I have like 2 books I read about, some superstars in the world, especially in the game of sport. One, this guy, Rafael Nadal. Then the second one, another one, not game of sport now, Hillary Clinton. So one of the books I read about Hillary Clinton, the woman said before she started to even date at all, when she was dating the former president, that they had agreement that before they go into parenting, they even marry at all, that the 2 of them will go for parenting class. So 2 years ahead, before they married, the 2 of them were certificated.
They were intentional about
it. They were intentional about it. So they were it's not even that I'm going to be available. Thereafter, Nadal, the guy said he's been dating the lady as when the lady was about 19 years. They didn't get married until the lady was like 30. So they had so much years to plan. Rafa Nadal said he doesn't want to bring any child to this world when he knows that he will not be physically present. While he was talking about being physically present, he registered himself in a fatherhood class. Right. So 2 years to when Nadal was to call it quits, playing tennis, that was when they had their first child. So 2 years after, when the boy knew the essence of having a parent, when the boy will understand what a true conversation would be, Rafael Nadal hung his racket.
This is the beauty of having men having this conversation
Great.
because we can see things
The perspective,
from
yeah.
different
And it's experiential,
perspectives.
hands-on.
Yeah.
You see, I look at it from me as a parent, myself. And one of the things that I remember that I did with my daughter, for instance, was, at the age of, I think she was 12 or 13, I was the first guy that took her out. Actually said to her, we're going out today. I'm taking you out on a date. We're going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. She bought a dress. I came home, picked her up, opened the door, car door for her. Everything was, and she was
Curated.
We went to the restaurant together and all that. During the dinner, I gave her a gift, which was a new phone at that time. There was a couple next to our table that was watching. And the woman at the table couldn't help herself. Couldn't help herself. She came to me and she said, I need to meet you. I'm sure this is your daughter. I said, yes. She said, I need to meet you. You are the expression of what you have done for this girl
Intentional.
will stay with her for the
Those
rest of her
are
life.
compelling memories.
For my boys and for my girls, they're not going to see which example when they get married would they copy. Because I've never beaten my wife.
Yeah.
I've never treated her badly. The examples that we show at home is what they will reflect. So men in their relationships, in their marriage, must model the right behavior, and the children will pick it up.
Spot on. That provides the basis for me to repeat that the best way to recognize counterfeits is to get used to the original. Yinka has already agreed with me, so. So, dude.
Kingsley, not only do I agree, I live that truth.
Correct.
Time to uncover the other side of the victim narrative.